I know it's been a while since I've made any kind of a review-style video. I know a lot of you want me to, and I will. The next film I'm going to review is going to be Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. I have it recorded, I haven't edited it yet, but it'll be up. Before I do that, though, I just wanted to say a few things about the Confused Matthew forums, his YouTube channel, and the comments that are on there. Some having to do with the Star Trek review that we did, and some just having to do with the comments in general. I spend a lot of time on the Confused Matthew forums, and I try to read everything that you guys are writing on almost any subject. And every time I go on there, I say this to your guys' credit, I end up feeling better and more optimistic about the world today when I read what you guys have to say. During the 2008 election, there was a lot of talk about voter apathy on the part of young people. But even beyond that, there was lots and lots of talk about just apathy in general. Young people are unaware of what's going on around them. They don't care. They're cynical. They have no interest in participating and engaging in the world around them. And I read your guys' posts on the Confused Matthew forums and on his review videos, and even just on YouTube in general. I watch a lot of YouTube videos having nothing to do with movies, but just people talking about stuff, and nothing could be further from the truth. There are a lot of young people on YouTube and on Confused Matthew on the forums and the videos, and you guys are engaged in the world you live in. You're very smart. You're very sophisticated. Even when we disagree, the points you make are so well thought out and so well articulated. You guys have so much to say about things and to think about things. And every time I read this stuff, I just feel better and more hopeful and more optimistic. So that's my spiel about young people today. I think that you guys are very sharp, and you have a lot of really deep convictions about the world around you and how you respond to it, whether it's through media or politics or religion or anything else. Now, just to talk about the Star Trek review and the things that were said in the comments about it for just a second, I meant every word that I said. I still feel about it the way that I did when I saw it. But I've seen 3 or 4 different comments that said nothing more than, I really enjoyed the film. And if anyone went to this movie and enjoyed it, I'm ecstatic for you. And I want to make that clear. I don't want people to go to this movie and have the reaction that I did. Confused Matthew had very few of the same reactions as I did, and I felt a lot more strongly about it than he did, and I was happy for him. If you enjoyed this film, if you found that you could be entertained and driven by the characters and that kind of thing, I'm extremely happy for you. I got the sense from some of the comments that some of you felt really insulted by some of the things that I had said personally. One of the comments, I think, said that they wished I died of AIDS or something like that. That it was that personal. I want to make it really clear, just in case you'd gotten this misconception. If you enjoyed this film and you found yourself engaged with the characters and that kind of thing, I'm not accusing anyone who had that reaction of being dim-witted. This is not a film for stupid people. This isn't Star Trek for morons. I thought that it was handled poorly. I thought that it was written poorly. I didn't think they did enough with what they had, but nobody who watched this film and enjoyed it is a moron for having done so. There are films that people could have seen in the past, if they did enjoy it, that I would think was kind of moronic for anyone to enjoy it, and I'm sure a lot of you would feel the same way about a lot of other movies if people had enjoyed it, but this is not, this movie is not dumbed down, and you're certainly not a moron for having liked it. Real quick, let me just also lay this one particular common misconception to rest. And I think I can speak for Matthew on this point because we've talked about this from time to time. Neither he nor I, in any review that we do, are saying, by virtue of the fact that we're doing a review, this is the only possible conclusion that you can reach by having seen these films. There's too much of that going on in the world today, in politics and religion, or atheism, or anything else. What this is meant to do, and what any review or discussion about any subject is meant to do, is exactly what's going on in these forums and in most of these comments, is open up a big, full discussion of these issues, even if they have to do with movies, because I think movies are important. I think it's important how we make art, how we respond to it, and whether or not it's good. But I think too often, even from just the what little comments are like this that I see in some of these reviews and some of these videos, people get the sense that we're saying you either agree with us or you're a moron or you're dim-witted or you just don't understand why this film is so bad, and nothing could be further from the truth. Matthew and I can only tell you how we felt about a film and why. And more often than not, you guys will rebut what's been said about it and try to give a different perspective on it, or a perspective that we hadn't thought about, or something about the film that maybe we had overlooked or not thought about correctly, and that's extremely important. Like I said, not just for movies, but for anything, any critical subject to humanity and the world that we live in and how we respond to it. That's the point of this kind of thing, and I think the overwhelming majority of you guys approach it from in that way. So, lastly, I want to also make something clear that seems to have been misunderstood or not known at all by some of you guys as to me and Confused Matthew's relation to one another and why we sound so similar. I've said this a couple of times as comment responses, and it's true. Confused Matthew and I are identical twins. We share the same birthday. We share the same DNA or whatever. We are 100%, no joke, identical twins. And so whether you like it or hate it, the vocal timbre of our voices is very much the same. Anyway, all that having been said, I just wanted to take some time out and tell you how much I appreciate the thought and sophistication and imagination that you guys bring, not just to YouTube and not just to the forums, but to the world that you live in. I think it's important to say things like that every once in a while, and I just wanted to say it. Anyway, thanks for listening. My next review will be up soon. I know I don't do it enough. I usually don't have that much time, but I'll try to make more time in the future. So in the meantime, live long and prosper.